Two dogs. Two dogs in the studios, folks. This is District Sentinel Radio, the newscast of record for the left. I'm Sam Sachs.
I'm Sam Knight.
We are broadcasting in a very full Sentinel fort in Washington, D.C. Check out the website, districtsentinel.com. We're featuring special guests you all know, Leica the dog right here. And we've got Harper the dog right here.
We got dogs, folks.
There's a showdown right now, folks. There's a dog showdown here. But I think this is going better than I had planned, actually.
It is. And let me just say, if you are not watching our stream, if you are only listening via a podcast app, now is the time to check out the stream, because we got two dogs in studio.
Dogs in the studio right now.
They're being good. They are being good girls. We have two.
Leica just chilling right now.
like a champ.
Harper being a little shy.
She is being a little shy, but she is also on a lower plane, and Leica has the
but she is
elevation.
a taller dog.
She is a taller dog,
much taller.
But look at Leica though; she's sitting all regal on a pillow.
She's doing great.
And Harper's just here in the corner. She can't even get out. Right now.
They've met in the past before.
You're such a good girl.
Their interactions together usually aren't the best. They they'll walk up to each other, stare each other down, and then Harper does this like horse dance.
She squares up.
It scares the hell out of both of them. And then they usually retreat, but they're getting along pretty well right now. This is going quite well. It's
going well. We might hear some barks pretty soon.
Yes,
but
we might.
Who knows?
Hey, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Be sure to get your garbage can nominees in right now. We got Charlie Kirk here as the image this week, but plenty of garbage candidates out there to choose from. We need someone to throw in the garbage can on tomorrow's Sentinel cast. So patreon.com/District Sentinel. You know the routine. Submit your garbage can nominees while you still can. Vote. Get involved. That's how it works.
Vote. Your voice has to be heard. I went to Wendy's the other day and I asked the cash register, "Sir, are you going to vote in this week's District Sentinel garbage can, sir?"
And what did they say?
They wouldn't tell me.
Did you shame them? Did you sufficiently shame them?
I was just trying to provide information. I wasn't trying to advocate for a specific candidate.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you want your voice heard, sir, you need to subscribe for the District Sentinel garbage can and vote.
Okay, Leica's crawling on me right now. So it looks like we've got 10 suspicious packages now, mail bombs that have been sent out overnight. We discovered Robert De Niro received one, which makes me think that this bomber might be a little older. Don't imagine like many like QAnon younger folks or something really caring what Robert De Niro has to say. But
aren't the QAnon folks boomers?
I guess some of them are boomers, yeah. What's the younger people conspiracy? Is that just the Pizzagate stuff?
I think Pizzagate and what is InfoWars' stance on QAnon? I find myself wondering aloud on a podcast.
Maybe they support it. I don't know. They believe in it.
I would imagine that because younger people, I think, tend toward InfoWars in their lunatic right-wing conspiracies, and whatever they say, I feel like that's what the kids are into.
Yeah. Well, we're sticking to our, Sam and I aren't ones where we can preach not to do political violence, as we've said punching Nazis is good, but don't harm mail carriers out there.
Do not
harm any dang mail carriers. All right, it's Thursday, October 25th, 2018. Here's the news.
The U.S. government is weighing in on an apparent voter suppression attempt in Georgia. A federal judge in Atlanta ordered state officials to stop rejecting absentee ballots on sketchy grounds. Two civil rights groups are suing Gwinnett County for turning down hundreds of absentee ballots because their signatures appear to not match signatures on record, allegedly. District Judge Lee Martin May ruled in the group's favor today. She said election officials in Georgia must give voters a chance to respond to questions about their signature before rejecting their absentee ballot. According to the Associated Press, May's ruling specifically states that Georgia must send rejection notifications by either first-class mail or email. Voters may have their identifications verified by an attorney. Also, election results cannot be certified until the absentee ballots are verified. CNN is reporting that so far, Georgia officials have rejected 157 absentee ballots specifically for signature mismatches. 881,000 absentee ballots have been cast so far in Georgia in total. In Gwinnett County, which, by the way, is one of the more populous counties in Georgia, it's a diverse suburb of Atlanta, and it alone has rejected 600 absentee ballots for a variety of reasons. Of note here, this is fairly important, the top official overseeing elections in Georgia is also the Republican nominee. Brian Kemp, Georgia's Secretary of State, he's the one facing off against Stacey Abrams. That's the Democrat vying to become the first black woman to become a state governor in U.S. history. On Tuesday, Kemp rejected calls to recuse himself from any potential recount. As a recent Rolling Stone report also noted, Kemp has suspended 53,000 voter applications, 70% of which were filed by black Georgians, and Kemp also purged 107,000 voters from the rolls last year because they haven't voted in recent elections. According to polling, the race between Kemp and Abrams is very close. Very, very close. Well, pretty close. The Real Clear Politics average has Kemp up by 1.6%, 48 to 46.4. If neither candidate wins a majority, there will be a runoff in December.
That bombshell climate change lawsuit against ExxonMobil has finally been initiated. On Wednesday, New York Attorney General Barbara Underwood filed a 91-page lawsuit against the oil giant alleging 4 counts of fraud. The AG's office investigated Exxon for nearly 3 years following a series of reports exposing that the company knew as far back as the 1970s that their business model was fueling climate change. They knew it would eventually begin affecting their bottom line, and yet they kept their shareholders completely in the dark. That is a crime. Underwood said in a statement, quote, "Investors put their money and their trust in Exxon, which assured them of the long-term value of their shares, as the company claimed to be, factoring the risk of increasing climate change regulation into its business decisions. Yet, as our investigation found, Exxon often did no such thing. The damages being sought in the case are not known yet, but they could be quite high. According to legal filings, Exxon misrepresented to its investors the future costs of carbon pollution, underestimating it by as much as $11 billion. This isn't ideal. It's not Exxon facing the corporate death penalty for literally killing the planet, but God, I would like to see the shit sued out of them. Time to take a haiku break now.
It rules how maybe our only hope against planetary collapse is, sir, think of the shareholders, sir.
Shareholder law, yeah, that's once again arriving at the right conclusions using the wrong math here. Like destroying Exxon because they lied to shareholders, not because they're destroying the dang planet.
It's the corporate version of getting Al Capone on his taxes, I guess.
Yeah. All right. This one goes out to all our new subscribers on Patreon, patreon.com/District Sentinel. Here are some haikus. I'll go first. This one goes out to Callum. Ants are hard to kill, so tiny and so pesky. Props to anteaters.
Thank you, Callum, and thank you, anteaters.
Yeah, shout out to our anteaters.
Callum or Calum?
Maybe Calum.
Callum. Either way. Let us know if we mispronounced your name. Sorry about that, if we did. Not sorry if we didn't. This is for Corey, who upped their pledge. Thank you, Corey. This is for you. Exposed wood better. Here's another reason why dogs don't wipe on wood. Think about it. Have you ever seen a dog wipe their butt on wood?
I
No,
don't think I have.
never.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you to all the new subscribers. By the way, people have been asking us, because we mentioned that you should get people a gift, a subscription gift. Patreon, though, doesn't allow you to gift subscriptions. I think there might be a few workarounds that I'm thinking about, so we'll have some updates for you all soon on how you can possibly do that, because we would like to have that chance to get some new subscribers via a gift. And I know some of you would like to send out some gifts to people. It's an easy gift. It's hard to come up with gifts for people. This is an easy one.
Give the gift of content.
The gift of content.
Become a Pisstown pal. That is a gift in and of itself.
It is, indeed.
The Trump administration shaved millions off a fine to a payday lender. Yesterday, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau penalized Cash Express to the tune of $200,000. According to Reuters, this was far less than what had been planned under the previous head of the CFPB, Obama appointee Richard Cordray, the current Democratic candidate vying for the Ohio gubernatorial race. Three sources told the wire service that Cordray had been lining up a $3 million fine for Cash Express. The current head of the CFPB is Mick Mulvaney, the top White House budget aide that called the Bureau a sick, sad joke while serving in Congress. According to the Center for Responsive Politics, Mulvaney took more than $65,000 in campaign donations from the payday loan industry while he was on Capitol Hill earlier this decade. Mulvaney also, of course, infamously said earlier this year, he said this about his time in Congress, quote, "If you're a lobbyist who never gave us money, I didn't talk to you. If you're a lobbyist who gave us money, I might talk to you."
I think that's illegal.
Well, it sounds like it should be. Either way, he made the remark while addressing a Washington conference put on by the American Bankers Association, which, if you're keeping score at home, does lobbying. It's a trade association that lobbies on behalf of the financial services industry. Now, the reason that Mulvaney decided to approve of any fine for Cash Express, according to Reuters, Mulvaney agreed the company, quote, used abusive practices when it seized the proceeds from borrowers and wrongly threatened to ruin their credit. Mulvaney also agreed with Cordray that Cash Express was wrong to collect expired debt, Reuters added, but Mulvaney declined to make Cash Express pay for harassing telephone calls and home visits that Cordray had identified as a violation of the law. Harassment by debt collectors is yet another thing right-wingers apparently consider to be sacred free speech. Mulvaney's slap on the wrist for Cash Express comes just days after it was reported that he's considering scrapping the key component of the CFPB's payday lending rule, which was finalized under Cordray. Bloomberg reported late last week that Mulvaney wants the Bureau to revise the part of the rule that forces lenders to consider a borrower's ability to pay when extending short-term credit, basically the only part of the rule that, the part of the rule that has the most teeth. It's the central part of the rule. And it's currently expected to take effect in August next year. Now, in the case of Cash Express, Reuters noted the company charges, quote, triple-digit interest rates. These are the lovely people Mulvaney is defending.
Jesus.
The company is based in Tennessee, and it also has storefronts in Alabama, Kentucky, and Mississippi.
Finally today, a public interest group is calling on the EPA to immediately start collecting data on communities that could be in danger of mass water poisoning from lead pipes, just like Flint. Public Employees for Environmental Responsibility, or PEER, filed a petition for rulemaking with the EPA, demanding the agency require states to turn over more data about possible water contamination. Now, current rules require only that states turn over data of water with lead levels exceeding a certain actionable threshold, not when they're approaching that level. According to PEER, EPA is flying blind and lacks the ability to step in before lead contamination reaches toxic levels. I mean, once you get a reading that the water the people are drinking water that's toxic, it's kind of too late to do anything about it. You then just have a crisis like in Flint. The good news is, according to Pierce, states already collect this data. It's already out there, and all the EPA has to do is require states to hand it over. In fact, that was a recommendation made to the agency by the Government Accountability Office in a report last year. And despite the fact that the EPA, at least on paper now, believes there's no safe level of lead in water, and despite the EPA concurring with last year's Government Accountability Office recommendation, the agency has not implemented the new data collection. Pierce Executive Director Jeff Rook said in a statement, EPA needs to stop kicking this public health can down the road. Forewarned is forearmed should be EPA's approach to preventing toxic exposure to lead in drinking water. Pierce's actions are timely, as this week the EPA is celebrating, quote, National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week. I don't know, based on their actions under the Trump administration and their lack of action in Flint, it should just take out the prevention part. That is the newscast. Let's take a look at the doggy cam here. Looks like they're stay in the doggy cam here, please.
Oh wow, that's a great shot right there.
That's a good shot.
You can see what is. Can the viewers / listeners hear that feedback we're
getting? I don't know what that is from.
When you on our end, in case you're not hearing it too, we're getting a little weird feedback.
Hopefully they're not. Hopefully they're just enjoying the dogs. What's going on in the chat room right now?
The chat room. People are enjoying the dogs in the chat room for sure.
Of course.
We have Jason saying, "Look at those good buddies."
They are buddies.
Alex says dogs. Luke says Team Harper. Nate says Pisstown Pups. Yeah. Bobby says the dogs are staring at each other. Tina says cuties. Harper got a haircut. Joseph says pooch fam. Martin says what up dogs? Not much. What's up with you? Bobby correctly noting that Leica is freaked out by Harper. Joseph saying looks the other way around, which might also be true.
They are freaked out by each other, I think.
Ryan noting that Harper is a good girl. And that is a lot of the dog talk. Joe R says dolphin teeth. What's that in reference to? Patrick reminds everyone, Alex Jonestown Massacre, Sunday, Velvet Lounge.
Okay.
I'm inclined to go with that.
It's the October 28th, whatever day
Either
that
way,
is.
if it's unclear, check the website. Looks like people have also been having stream problems. Joe R. answering my question. Alex Jones has claimed that QAnon is compromised in the recent past. QAnon, folks, it is a double fake. It is a false flag, which is why only boomers believe in it.
All right.
Mail carriers braver than the troops, says Alex Howe.
100%. Call the rant line. 202-684-6108.
Keister says, I sent something to you at your P.O. box that will arrive from Hertz Gardens. It is not a bomb.
Okay.
That's a relief.
I'm sure other people have sent stuff. I will check the post office tomorrow. I will look at our packages here. I'm going to have to restart our fucking closing music here.
That's okay.
I will check the post office tomorrow for our packages. Hopefully we'll have some stuff to debut on Monday's show.
We've got more closing music, so I guess I could read more comments. Joe R. says Mick Mulvaney is a worm. Alex says my beloved Senator Mark Warner from Virginia is also a defender of the payday loan industry. Hashtag primary Mark Warner 2020. Yes. Yes, King.
Yes.
Yes,
all right.
King.
All right. Thank you to our sponsors, the Congressional Dish Podcast.
R says I don't hear feedback.
Find it at congressionaldish.com. Another sponsor, levelnews.org. Sentinelcast comes out tomorrow. We've got a bunch of good interviews with that.
Charlie Kirk has dolphin teeth.
Charlie Kirk
is Charlie Kirk.
Dolphin teeth. Okay.
Yeah, check out the interviews. They're really good.
Check out the Pisstown Pups as we leave you here. The newscast returns next week. We're in D.C., so you don't have to be.